Oh man. The first thing I noticed, I saw that we had the same background. Like we've got the the IKEA special.
Oh,
I swear to God, it's the
I
exact
totally
same. It's the exact same. Look at
oh
it.
man,
Right? Right?
that is yep,
With
yep. That's
your
exactly right.
with
That's
your
IKEA.
figurines and your precious
Oh yeah.
collectibles, your Thor hammer
I
over
should
there.
I should have put up more stuff. I recently got like a nice keyboard display case for downstairs. So now
Oh,
all my
dope.
nice keyboards are in the living room, but there's not as much up here.
What
I feel
what
like also
what kind of figurines do you have over there? I mean, I've got like amiibos and this bottle of Long Branch.
I've got some Sword Art, I've got some Kaon, I've got some Spider-Man, I've got some Iron Man, I've got Junibio, I've got some Fate Zero in there.
Right. That's pretty
I have
dope.
to move this cable. It's gonna drive me crazy. Hang on.
Move the cable. Do your thing. Listen, this is the Lazy J. All right, I'm hanging out with my main man, Damish Shah. This is my guy, and I'm looking forward. We're gonna talk to him for a little bit. He doesn't know we're live yet, but that's the trick of the Lazy J. You never know when it's gonna be a lazy. Everyone's always expecting the J dive. It's that Lazy J. Up. Little side shuffle. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited to be back. This is season 2, so should be fun. Should be really fun.
All right.
Hey, my man.
Feeling good.
Feeling good, looking
Ready.
good. Welcome to the Lazy J, my man.
Hey, it's good to be here.
This is really cool.
I might have missed it. Are we live?
We're always live. That's the
Oh, nice.
That's the trick. That's the trick of the Lazy J. I was just telling everyone. So we've it's odd. We've like done a season 1 kind of now. I don't know how many episodes it was. I'm not counting, but we've definitely done some kind of a season 1. It started with Joe Perugia, who is the general manager of Glitch Bar, and then it ended with Sarah Greenwood, who introduced me to like the competitive aspect of the game, which I always thought was really cool.
She's like the general manager of just being awesome.
So
She's pretty great.
now we're opening up season 2 with my main man Damish. I tell everybody, everybody in Florida at least, listen, he's a Florida native. We claim him. He's been to a number of scenes, but we claim him. He comes back home every once in a while. And your brother lives here. Your brother came
My brother does live here.
to Glitch before the dark times. So that was
Yes,
fun.
I remember. A bunch of the KQ folks from Florida were all texting me. They were like, "Oh, your brother's here with us." They're all so excited.
Yeah, we love seeing him when he came out. Between the two
they
of
taught him
you.
how to play.
Right, yeah, I'll say it's between the two of you. He came and he was like, "Listen, you guys got to teach me how to play so I could take my brother down."
Oh yeah, that sounds like him. That sounds like something.
It's good. That's how it works. I think I disconnected my cam. There we go. Headphones. 808. So let me get into a few things here. I mean, with you being in the Lazy J, obviously it's a loosely based Killer Queen kind of talk show thing. We don't do a whole lot of crazy mess. We don't like get into a bunch of things, but it's like a casual thing. And going into season 2, I'm working with my buddy and teammate Joe B. Shout outs to Joe. He set up our schedule. It's always nice to have someone do the schedules.
Love talking to Joe. He made the whole process really easy.
Yeah, it does. And everyone's busy and like doing stuff. You're growing it out, man. So I know you've been you've been doing something.
This is the world. What is this like?
Oh, the exclusive, the world premiere
of Damish's curly hair. This is the first time. It's something I'm trying out. Shout out to my curly-haired friends and family.
Shout out.
Check out our curly hair on Reddit. They'll hook you up.
Curly hair only fans.
Hell yeah.
No, this is really cool, man. So I gotta say, I do like the look. I like the look.
Thank you.
It's a very nice look.
COVID is the time. Like, if you're gonna be inside all the time anyway, you might as well work on yourself a little. So.
Right. Okay. So what have you been
At the
doing
gym
exactly?
routine.
You're hitting the gym. You're working out. What are you doing?
I'm not going out to a gym, but I've invested a little more in like exercise equipment around the house. So
right.
I've got my gym schedule worked out and my workouts at home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing with the curly hair a little bit, growing out the beard, trying to see,
it looks good. You look like you're just ready to go on the poster of like Ghost Recon. You just need a tactical helmet.
You gotta show up for the Lazy J.
Yeah.
You gotta. It deserves that much respect. It really does.
I appreciate that. So walk me through a bit, since we're in the dark times, right? I know the big elephant in the room is when, Damish, when will the games be good again? And like, not for a long time, right?
Leading to with two complete non-experts talking about COVID timelines.
Yeah.
I'll say, I think vaccine.
Oh shoot, we lost them. Hang on, we'll get them back. This show is live, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, back to the lazy.
Oh, I see what it did. We didn't lose you. It just did something funky. We got you. Hold on.
Okay, all right. I'm glad to hear. Didn't lose. Does that mean my everything? I was probably streaming, but you were not streaming.
There we go. Got it. See, this is why we make title cards, because when you have a title card, you can hide. You can hide everything. Look, he's here.
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
He never left. But okay, so we're in the middle of our COVID expert discussion with our timelines,
Yes.
and you were just starting off with that.
I was. Your video is not on. I'm not sure if your stream can see your video or if it's just me who can't see your video.
Oh, Funky, you can't see mine? Oh, that Discord. Well, listen, give me a second. We're all just going to look at your beautiful face.
I'm all right with that.
It's a really good face. You should
keep
this
effort today. Oh, yeah? I don't know. We're not seeing very many people these days, so, you know, if you have an excuse to dress up, why not? Oh, I'll take this opportunity to pour myself a drink. I was told that the Lazy J, you gotta have a drink. That's part of the deal. So this is my first time trying this. This is an Elijah Craig toasted barrel bottle of bourbon. I'm very excited to try it.
Yeah. Is that the small batch?
Yeah. No, this is the. I do actually also have the small batch. This is the toasted barrel.
Oh, nice. I've heard good things about the toasted barrel.
I've never tried before. I'm very excited.
That is part of it.
Have a little taste here.
I've got some very expensive imported Bullet.
Oh.
Bullet bourbon.
What makes it so exciting?
Oh, it's not exciting at all. It's not basic, but it's Bullet.
I like a Bullet bourbon. I don't hate it.
Bullet is not bad.
Which one? Like, what do you mean imported? Is Bullet not made in America?
Oh no, it totally is. I'm Johnsing you. But cheers, brother. Cheers indeed.
Yeah,
you got
cheers,
the snifter.
buddy.
Now I feel real bad. I got this like from Walmart.
You can't drink bourbon without a snifter. Yours looks like a snifter for someone who is huge. That is
right.
A giant snifter.
Right. Yeah. The goblin snifter. It's good.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I remember we had something, right? Is it good? Is it good toasted notes?
Oh,
got the peat.
Oh yeah.
All right.
You get there's some spice in there. I think mainly I'm tasting like there's like okay, let's back up. I am not a bourbon expert here.
No, are you?
No, I'm but it is super. It has a ton of like you know, like a toasted burny, like marshmallowy toffee kind of flavor.
Yeah.
Caramel. Oh. That is fucking.
That's what you want, man. That's what you want. That's the good stuff. I think of bourbon, scotch. I like all the dark stuff. We've got a bar where I work, so it's like, okay, this is nice. I can sample kind of, you know, whatever, get into some things. Yeah. The most expensive, crazy thing I've ever had, which I had like a sip. It wasn't like a big deal, but they have a.
It's like a big deal to me.
They have a Scotch, Balvenie brand, right? And it's their 30 year. And the 30 year, if you want to get a rocks pour of the 30 year, that is, I want to say like in the upwards of 186 for like 2.5. And it's insane. Crazy. And that's like not even a crazy one. I've definitely heard worse, but it's up there. So it's cool. It's fun. But cheers. I do like that. That is part of Lazy J. So thanks for being prepared.
Yeah. Of course.
So while we've been out,
loosen the inhibitions.
Right, exactly. You know, while
we've
been out, we've been doing things. Obviously, for the folks that don't know, there's some folks in South Florida I know. You I think are probably one of the more happy people, at least KQ people, who has been during this COVID time not able to play as much as maybe they want to, because you have a cab in your
Right.
house that you can
I
play
do.
for free, kind of, anytime.
Well, well, the upfront cost was high, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Games are free.
So, I mean, have you been keeping up? Are you like in the lab? I imagine that you're just like waiting for BB5, like, oh yeah, everyone's gonna be.
Now's my time.
Now's my time.
No. The cabs that we purchased with like a few of our friends in Portland. So they're not just mine, but they do live in our house.
Right.
Yeah, shout out to Ara, Nathan, Matt, and Andrea. Other folks that helped pitch in for this to make it possible. Two things. I'm not playing right now. We actually, I think we turned it on exactly one time, and I'll talk about the one time. But mostly, I think it's first of all, it's unfair.
Right.
I shouldn't be out here trying to get good while no one else can play.
I mean,
and then second,
is it unfair?
When I lose anyway, it'll be 10 times more embarrassing.
There
if
it
I was
is.
out here practicing for a year and a half.
There it is.
But also, I think that the skills that we've trained over the past, like, however many years most of us have been playing, and even the new folks, I think that it just comes back so fast.
Yeah.
Like, you give it like a week of solid practice, the mechanics start to come back, your strategic thinking starts to come back, all
Right.
that comes back.
Right.
So I don't think it'll be a huge advantage to the people that are playing right now versus not. I think also I don't think it's worth getting COVID. But I will tell you, maybe a month ago. So actually, I don't know if he wants me to tell people, but I'm gonna tell people. Turbo has recently moved to Portland. It's unclear if it's a long-term move, a short-term move. He and his girlfriend Allie are both living here now.
The exclusive news keeps hitting.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's public knowledge. He hasn't hid it, so I don't feel too bad. Mostly because I just love having Turbo around. I just want to tell everybody.
I think I remember before the Lazy J, we had our little hiatus. You actually wanted to come on with Turbo, and I was emailing him. I was like, hey, buddy, Damish wants to do Lazy J with you. Do you want to come? And I got ghosted. One, he's hard to get to. He's not on social media. He's not on Facebook.
He's a busy man.
He's a busy man.
He just started a company. He's got his programming language he's working on. He's just a busy.
He's
guy,
a busy man. Maybe one day. Maybe Lazy J season 2 finale will open and close.
Ooh,
but he's gonna be in Portland then.
Well, so he's actually already here, and the reason I bring it up is right after he moved here, he got like a little house with Allie, like they're renting, and he was able to like take 10 days where he didn't go out at all, full lockdown, same thing that I did, and he came over and we had dinner and got super drunk and played 1v1 Killer Queen. And so that was the one time I turned on the cabs in this pandemic. That's the one time it happened.
Who won?
He did. I think I was drunk. I was drunker than he was for sure. We ended up trying to play like 3 positions each, like we'd be like moving the scale with our heads and like controlling the queen and the warrior. It was
guys in your tandems, man. I remember going to BB4, and there was that one time we were playing after the tournament in the main room.
Yeah.
And every time you died, everyone would switch, and it was also tandem. And I'm just like,
the rotato.
What the the random rotate. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with these people? They can do all of this. This is crazy. I feel like it's like the further you get into something, you've got to like keep upping it to keep it fun. You've been playing a long time. I think I put it in my show notes, so I hope I didn't screw it up. But you've won BumbleBash twice.
Twice, yes.
Okay. I'm not dumb.
I think.
And those
that's not true. I was gonna say, out of the people who've won BumbleBash from New York, I've won the least number of times, but I don't think that's true.
Okay. I know Turbo has won. He's been on the winning team 3 times.
Yes, him and Carissa. Carissa's also been on the winning team 3 times.
Yeah, because that was news at like BB4 that Chicago won, and for the first time that like broke the streak or whatever. So I remember that.
Yeah.
But you've won 2 times. You've been playing a long time. Yeah. How do you like keep the game fun?
That is a hilarious question to ask me, because I think for me, let's back up. Historically, I've had a hard time prioritizing fun in Killer Queen.
Right.
I think, especially when we were training for BB1, I think like a ton of us from New York especially had been just like losing tournaments constantly.
Okay.
To folks from Chicago, to folks from Portland. And I think like the resurgence of New York, or I guess the surgence.
The surgence.
We were that before that. It was much smaller back then too, but I think the surgence of New York kind of started in the Invitational, the Coronation tournament that we had right before BB1.
Mm-hmm.
That's I think when some of the folks from the national scene were watching and they were like, "Oh, New York's pretty good. we should probably watch out." So that was, sorry, going back to fun. I forgot on that tangent where we started. That Killer Queen was basically our jobs at the time. I feel like we were playing so
it's boot
much,
camp. It's training.
It was exactly like that. It was work, eat, Killer Queen, and sleep. Just that was it. And in the off time when we weren't playing, we were talking strategy, we were watching footage. So like, I think fun is a relatively new thing.
Right.
For me to be prioritized. I think the way I have the most fun is by training new folks. I think that's something that I love and maybe it's not always fun. I shouldn't make it sound like it's all, rainbows.
Right.
There's new folks who are learning the game. But that's I think what's most fulfilling to me is definitely trying to find people who are hungry to get better. Get them on a team, get them together, talk footage, talk through the game.
It's interesting that you say that, because I can see that stuff. Like, I could totally vouch. I mean, you've like I said, you've been down to South Florida a couple times. It's a new scene. By that point, there had already been 2 BumbleBashes. I think, you guys were going on the 3rd, which South Florida did not go to. We went to 4. But you were there and you're like showing things and this and that. I remember we were talking a lot about, oh, hey, I'm trying to be a queen. What should I do? And, well, you got to get your resources in order. And trying to figure out a lot of this type of stuff.
Like,
Resources.
It's spot on.
It's with the hand too. Yeah, I do impressions. I'm really good at them. So pulling in some of that.
Lazy J.
Yeah, pulling in that and just like you would just beam up. You know what I mean? Like I'm always like, how does this guy who's played this game for so long have so much damn patience still that he can still like say the same thing over and over to people that are like, oh my God, I've never heard of that. And it's, that's the new people impression. They sound like that. But
that's top notch. Yeah.
It's crazy to me, right? Because when you get to a certain point in your skill level, not everybody can do that. Not everybody can teach. And even people that can teach don't necessarily like to or have fun to or like would volunteer to do so. So the fact that, that's something that's still fun for you makes a lot of sense to me. Like I could see that perfectly.
I appreciate that. I think you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly like seeing someone's face, like I guess seeing the gears turn when I'm explaining a concept and then seeing it click on someone's you could just like see it, they light up a little bit. And then when they play the actual game, it feels like they're a new player, when they really internalize some of the feedback you give them. And I live for that.
Right. So I know that when the scenes, when everybody comes back and they start playing, there's been the big talk of, oh, how are people going to get back into the game after such a long break? There's going to be a lot of training. There's going to be a lot of scene rebuilding. One of the things that we've been talking about is like, what do you think? Do you think the people who've played the game, who aren't playing it now, who've like are moving on to other things and starting companies and moving and doing all these things, do you think that they're going to come back? Do you think it's going to be kind of the same, or do you think there's going to be kind of like this? I don't want to say mass exodus. Maybe that's a little extreme, but just a drop off of older players. I know we have some folks like Brian Lancaster, who's like basically announced that he's retiring and some stuff like that, and maybe some other veterans don't really see the point of playing the dumb B game anymore. What do you think about that?
I think you're right. Some time away gives perspective, and I would urge everyone who feels like they've hit a wall to take a little break for a while and see if that kind of like shifts your thinking or just re-energizes you to get back into it. I think the vast majority of people to this day are itching to play more KQ. I don't think this is something that a lot of people take lightly, and not because of the game, but because of the community. And I think everyone is going to want to come back for that community. Now, maybe some of the older veteran folks have like kind of seen the light in terms of like building the other aspects of their life. I know I have. I've been investing a lot in just things outside of Killer Queen. I love doing that. Like maybe they won't be quite as serious about Killer Queen going forward.
Right.
But the game is like a black hole, man. It sucks you in and it doesn't let go. And we've gotten kind of a break from it, but I feel like the itch is going to come back real quick.
You think it's going to be kind of a situation of, returning to the spawning pool, every once in a while.
Yeah. Or even just to get a little darker, like a heroin addict who's been clean for a long time. And then oh, actually, I'm not a heroin addict, so I don't actually know a good metaphor for this.
I'm following.
But then they just find some heroin. They're going through a rough time. Suddenly it's available. Right? They hit the lottery or something.
Right. The heroin lottery.
Exactly. The heroin lottery for free heroin. That's what Killer Queen is gonna be like, I think. Like right now, we're all sober, and then someone's gonna go to an arcade. Someone's gonna see the cabs again. It's all over, man.
I love this episode so much already. This is the best. I'm so glad to be doing this again. My buddies down here, my teammates, my arguably teammates especially, my buddy JP, my buddy Floyd, Richard, they're always on my ass, man. Just always on my ass. When is the Lazy J gonna happen again? You're supposed. When's the next episode coming? They're like, my aunt and uncle, just giving me the finger wag. And I love it. Yeah. I love it. They push me so much. I really appreciate it. They're the reason why we're pulling this show back up. The people demand content. Speaking of the people, we got some comments in the chat here, which are about you. So let's see some of them.
Should I be in the Twitch chat right now?
No, it's fine. I put it on Facebook. People put it goes places. I'm recording, so I'll probably put it somewhere on YouTube. I'm trying to think about it now, and maybe I should document this stuff. But we got Amar in the chat. Rob Newhouse is in the chat. Amar agrees with the beard. He says, praise the beard. I think that's a good endorsement.
Thanks,
fellow beard brother.
It's good.
It's good. It's a little thicker than yours, but it's a good beard. It's a really good chin beard. You know what I mean? He's got a good chin for that beard. Rob Newhouse, you were talking about you maybe being one of the folks that's won BumbleBash the less. He says Sam and B Wong and Prashant only got one.
I feel like they deserve to have won 3.
Yeah?
Like that's kind of the, well, I would say, players in New York, I always said this, also when we won BB1 and 2, it very much felt like a shared victory with the whole scene.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't have,
of course.
We obviously couldn't have done it on our own.
Of course.
And a lot of these players, B1, Sam, Prashant, are only a few of them. Were instrumental in talking strats, giving us sparring partners, watching video together. And just pushing us every time. It was like if we slept even a little, they would just win.
Right.
Which how do you can't just take a break when you have Brian Wong's skill ceiling breathing down your neck, or
no, just forget about it.
Yeah,
Brian, B Kang, I think B Kang is definitely another super skill player. I got the chance to play with him in our tournament, Queens Gone Wild 1. Him and Andrew Wilkening. And man, what a boot camp! I mean, what a boot camp! I was queening that thing, and they're just in my ear the whole time. Just those guys just elevated me to 3rd place in that tournament, and it was insane. I'll just listening to B King, the whole time he's telling me.
I wouldn't sell yourself short there. That's
right.
all I want to say.
Well, I'll take that. I'll take that. But B King, he's in my ears. He says, watch the queen. See what she does. Think about it. Was that smart? If it wasn't, don't do it. And I'm like, hey, that makes a lot of sense. Thanks. So just things like that.
Brian is an amazing player who, again, so we talked about this a little earlier. It is rare to find that combination of amazing player and amazing teacher.
Right.
Brian
right. Oh man, he's such a good teacher. You're right.
Of all time, he's the original queen, basically. Him, Dre, and
for New York.
New York. I think Brian King. So let's back up. The first invitational tournament ever was Kickstarter. Kickstarter had a set of cabs. They brought in a bunch of folks from around. And by a bunch of folks from around the country, I mean a bunch of New York teams and then one team from Chicago. And the Chicago team took that tournament, which is why I say New York didn't really have that surgence pre-BB1.
Okay.
But Brian King was the person in the finals queening the New York team at the time. So.
Wow.
I would definitely call him, the original best queen.
The grandfather of the New York scene.
Of the New York scene.
Yeah, of the New York scene. That's pretty wild. That's really wild. We did when we started doing the Lazy J, my first thought was, let's talk to the top queens, at the current time in the scene. So I talked to Joe P, I talked to Malloy, I talked to Sebastian, and then my buddy Scoops, my producer, he interviewed me in like a reverse interview, and I was like, okay, so that's cool. So that's kind of been ours. And then I also talked to Levy, who's, our tall boy, but also one of the kind of first queens in the scene. And that was cool. It was a lot of fun, like kind of, there's a history to it, I think, which is really interesting in the game because it's a social game. So like the history around who was where during what kind of matters, and it's fun to follow that. And it's fun to delve into the other scenes and see, oh, well, who was your, so-and-so, or what was it like? Yeah. Like my biggest question for you coming off of, thinking about the eventual future, hopefully, fingers crossed, of BB5, which is no secret, for doing premieres, South Florida is gunning for BB5.
I'm excited.
We got a decent taste.
I'm ready for it. I'm here.
We got a decent taste playing against Knee Howdy at BB4. We almost took a game. We almost took a night map. And not only did we almost take it, but Draquan specifically said that, oh, man, that match against you guys like helped us figure some stuff out in our own team that we weren't either doing well or we needed to figure out that helped us against the other teams. So like
you pushed them.
Yeah. Basically, that's what they're saying, right? We pushed them. So that's really high praise, and that's something coming to us that tells us we're not that far. So gunning for BB5, but the question for you is, you've won 2. What's it like as a whole, right? Because there's so much that goes into it. There's the training, there's the team meetings, there's this, there's that, there's the tournament day nerves, all the travel, the mindset. What's it like, if you had to describe it, winning BumbleBash? Just the whole process,
That is an intense question. Let me think about that. So you don't mean like emotionally? What did it feel like?
No, of course it's like, overwhelming and
comprehensively.
Yeah.
Like what did it take to win?
Right.
I think there's like simple answers to this, right? A ton of practice with high quality practice partners, and just like the dedication it takes to watch your footage, talk through it as a team, try to minimize egos as far as feedback goes, because that's something that will really hold you back.
Right.
But is, I think, kind of impossible to totally remove from the game. I think everyone has an ego about it. I think it's healthy to have an ego.
Yeah, I think it's kind of necessary in some circumstances, yeah.
Right, but ego is a double-edged sword in that, like, it can prevent you from improving or taking feedback, in kind of an unbiased way.
Right.
So I think outside of the normal, like, practice regiment, I always find in tournaments when I'm watching them, I see teams that perform well under pressure and just play to their opponent. Like they play better and better and better as their opponents get better and better and better. And then eventually someone hits their ceiling where they can no longer like eke out that performance, on game day.
Right.
And a lot of that also comes from adaptation, just being able to see what your opponents are doing, which you mentioned Brian Kang said to you specifically to Queens, but you can do that as a whole on opponents as a team. And trying to make sure that you're adaptable and as relaxed as possible come game day.
Right.
I think that's basically what it takes. Like, I'm always, when I'm at a tournament, trying to watch my next opponent play their games so I can try to dissect what their strategies are overall. One, so I'm not super surprised if they try to do something that might be a little out there that they're doing consistently, but depending on not being surprised is not really a good strategy.
Right.
Hopefully it's all about like quick adaptability, even within a game, but also just like between games and between matches, between sets. How many teams have come back, losing a tournament, losing winner's bracket to someone and then come back to see them in the finals? And
Right.
Yeah.
That happens. That happens quite a bit.
Who is the most adaptable, for sure?
I think we had Kyle Shipwash on for season 1, and he's a comeback king. Kyle will put himself in the snail trail of dust map and somehow find a way to come out on top in a low like it doesn't make any sense to me, but he can do it. So I do think that there's some pressure there.
For Queen.
Yeah. Really?
I don't hate it.
Really?
I think they should be down there more than they are.
Really? You think so?
Other folks. Well, I think if you want to run a good snail on Dusk, it requires Queen pressure. Mainly because people can just entrench themselves against warriors. We don't have to talk strategy here.
Right.
I think you need a good Queen to shove out some enemy warriors.
No, that makes sense.
You need teammates to back you up.
They can hole up in there. That definitely makes sense. We have a thought process, in South Florida where we're talking about Queens and Warriors, kind of segueing off your point there, and that I'm thinking about it. Which, can I just say, I love this format. I love we're just talking, man. We're talking. We're having a drink.
Yeah.
There are no show notes. You know what I mean? Like, it's really nice. I really like it. But coming back into the point, the Warriors versus Queens versus drones, team cohesion, synergy, all of these types of elements. They're, in my opinion, even though it's a team game, everyone has their part of the relay to run, right? I do think that teams are ultimately governed by one thing. And in my opinion, that is the Warriors. I think that the Warriors are the proverbial gate holders of your team's ability to win. If it's music terms, Warriors are the drummers. They're not the ones that are really the Queen is like the electric guitarist maybe, or the vocalist, or the Freddie Mercury. But I think the Warriors are the drummer. And the drones, in my opinion, are kind of basically like the crew, the sound guy, the technician.
I love this metaphor. Yeah.
Those types. Like, would you agree? Do you think that's like kind of how it is in a way, or what's your opinion on who's the heart?
I don't think there's a clean analogy when it comes to like bandmates. Mostly because I find that as the game progresses, the optimal play will definitely come from people being kind of flexible in their roles.
Right.
And so it's not always. I get what you're saying. Like, a drummer provides stability, and having warriors who are like awake, alive, and in the right position is like having like a huge safety net as queen. In like my perfect killer queen, let me think about this. I always akin killer queen to something like a MOBA or like an Overwatch kind of game, like a team based video game where there's like typically in a team formation you've got like your tank, you've got your healer, you've got your DPS, and you got your healers. I think those are the three big ones: tank, DPS, and healer.
Right.
I would qualify queen as more of like a tank healer, right? Like, you res the team when they're down, that kind of thing. And I qualify warriors more as DPS because they have especially if you have speed, they can be much more effective at taking down specific targets.
Correct. Yeah. Glass cannon effect.
Exactly. They can be killed semi-easily if they're not in the right position or by the right unit. But if they have a tank on the other side of them, like a queen when she's playing that role, that the DPS has like a much better option as far as like attacking a target together goes. And then likewise, I don't know. I just don't think a queen, with how fragile they are and how good warriors are, has the room to play electric guitar the way they used to.
Right. Yeah.
I think I've said this forever. Which is you just can't, like, as a queen, you can't carry anymore.
Right.
One good queen will not win a tournament the way that they could in the past. Which I think is for the better of the community, of the game, of the like competitive spirit of it all. Like, you shouldn't be able to carry. You can contribute a little harder sometimes.
Sure.
But you shouldn't be able to carry. That being said, I think we've hit a skill ceiling where, like, I feel like the gameplay, the meta of the game, it kind of progresses in lockstep where, I feel like something that I made famous / New York made famous forced me to make famous. Everyone was so good. So at like BB1, I hung back a lot more because I had a team of superstar warriors, and I was just like, let me let you guys shine and just be around, right?
Right.
Like, let me guide people into y'all. Let me be around for you to guide people into me, and let me make sure you're all up and safe.
Right.
And that let me play much more cautiously, or like, what's the word? Just more disciplined. And I feel like the game has progressed to the point where queens can't do that anymore either. You can't just hang out, because the enemy queen's time is that much more valuable. The enemy team will take advantage of the fact that you're kind of sitting back.
Interesting.
And they'll kind of win the long game that way. So I think queens have to push a little harder. Even if they can't carry these days, they still have to be more active in the game. And I don't think that's changed. I think that's still where we're at.
That's based, like, the situation you described in my like view as a player in the game, with the amount of history I have with the game. To me, basically, you've outlined the outcome of BB4. You had a very aggressive Chicago team versus a very regimented, formulaic, bread and butter for sure, and heavy contending New York team. And if I remember correctly, it went to a Game 5 situation, so that's as close as you can get it, or Game 7. I don't know how many they do. I think it was 7. But the aggressive team, the aggressive team eked it out, as opposed to maybe earlier, that aggression, because it's not refined enough, gets exploited by the bread and butter team, by being in the safe spot, by holding underneath while they're trying to come in for the J and they just miss it. But now they're hitting it, you know what I mean? So I think you're right in that way. Do you think that there's still room, like if this is the meta shift where folks are going to have to push more, be more aggressive, be more onto the tech, and really kind of try to control the space, control the resources in a more intentional and aggressive way? Do you think that this is kind of going to be a meta that's going to stick around for a while, or do you think that it's going to kind of backfire in some way and morph into something else?
That's a good question. I do think Killer Queen is a game where the meta has evolved in such a way that we're constantly like pushing each other and developing counters to whatever the current meta is, which puts it kind of in the company of other great, amazing games that people play online. In this case, I would say, there's probably going to come a time where that is not going to work. I think the reason the meta shift happened in the first place is because people kind of discovered value in controlling tempo. That's something you hear in like Magic the Gathering or other video games.
Right, yeah, controlling tempo.
If you're the one pushing the game forward and you're doing it in kind of a clean way, you're going to have the advantage, right? You're doing things first. You're forcing the other team to respond, to defend. And that position as the attacker, especially if your tech is really good, can be really valuable. I think there's almost always a counter to an aggressive move with some kind of slightly more optimal defensive move. I just think we don't quite have it yet. Like the game moves so fast, and I feel like the skill ceiling is currently being pushed up by the attackers. I think as the game evolves, we'll probably see more like solid defensive, consistent strategies come up to kind of counter that. I think we see that today with certain players. Yeah, with certain players.
Well, okay, which players would you say are pushing the envelope in that way? That's an interesting add-on.
In like defensive, cautious play.
I think from my experience at Queen's Gone Wild 2 for the great shutdown, Blake Compton was messing my fucking brains up, man. Like, he's got these vanilla warrior wiggles that I think in our scene, Showtime Floyd, he definitely has kind of something similar to that as well. He can catch you on vanilla, and you don't expect it, because it's weird, right? It's like, I can remember listening to you and some of the commentary we were doing on some footage analysis, and it's like, hey, yo, you could have dove here and just got this guy. But there's something about it when he's in the game and he's just doing that wiggle, and it's like, fuck, I think he might be able to get me if I go down there. You don't want to get got.
Spacing is challenging. Spacing is your friend, the vanilla warrior. Right. Sure. And warriors who know the spacing well are very, very valuable.
But he's pushing that.
There's like classic players like Wyatt, Lev. But I feel like even the most defensive warriors, slow warriors of all time are like pushing the boundaries as far as like what's safe. And I don't think the answer is like always play defensive. The answer is figure out where you are going to win a trade or where it's going to be more optimal to play defensively, and then figure out where you can steal value by being aggressive safely. And I think there's players who are very good at discerning those moments. And there's a million of them. Like I couldn't name them all. Also because I've forgotten who everyone is in the last year and a half.
That's fair.
I guess it's almost a little over a year now.
No, it is. It's definitely been a year. It's weird. It's like almost March again. Like I'm glad, I'm glad we're moving. And
time forgot.
Right, like the vaccine is out. There's a buddy of mine in Jacksonville who works as a nurse up there, and he's a scene mom. He's in the scene mom chat, and he's like, "Hey, we got the vaccine. I'm taking it tomorrow, and I'm taking it on Monday." And it's like, "Okay, cool. Let us know how it is. Don't die." So it's cool, and I think that once we get more vaccines and everything, hopefully everyone gets back into it. Everyone gets back into it, and I think the renaissance is definitely leaves something to hope for. I think it's very exciting times for us now.
I agree.
You mentioned that absence kind of adds perspective, but also absence makes the heart grow fonder, they say. So I think that, there's going to be a big comeback. Wait. I want to segue now just from KQ stuff. We've been talking about that. I want to focus a bit more on Damish, the man, the myth, the legend, in his element. What have you been doing outside of KQ? What games have you been playing? What shows have you been watching? What new hobbies have you got into? My favorite one is down here in South Florida, Richard, you guys know Richard. his KQ hobby was becoming a pilot. The man was not a pilot before COVID, and he's a fucking pilot now. He has a plane, and he flies it places. Cool. I just don't even... He woke up one day and was like, I want to be a pilot. And he's a pilot now. Like, it's insane. So what have you been doing, in COVID? What kind of new things have you been working yourself into?
Yeah, I feel like I've developed a few COVID hobbies. We talked a little bit about some of them. I've been working out again. My curly hair is now a hobby.
Yeah.
I have been playing a ton of video games, of course. Mostly single player stuff. I've kind of loved having a break from like competitive gaming. Like I haven't played Overwatch or like League or anything in a
really?
long time, which
okay.
Is good for the soul.
And single player at that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I love a good story-driven game. I'm just such a big fan.
Oh,
with
wow.
an RPG with a great story, I love that.
Okay, what have you hit? What was your top, I guess, of the back half of 2020? RPG, story-driven, right?
That is a hard question.
You played something. We want to know.
Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is probably my favorite game that I played over the last year.
Yeah.
I don't actually own a PS4. Also, I've been trying for the past like 6 months to get a PlayStation 5. They're impossible to get. They're freaking impossible. Every day I
You heard it here first.
The Now in Stock website. Oh man, if you have a PS5, let me use your audio. If you have a PS5, if you have an extra one, I don't know why you'd have an extra one.
If you have an extra one, if you're a PS5
desperate.
scalper,
please, yeah. If you're a scalper,
ship it to Damish. Ship it to Damish.
Sell it to me.
That's hilarious.
Mostly because PlayStation has some amazing exclusives.
Well, Ghost of Tsushima is like playing a movie. Like they went in on that art. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A buddy of mine down here, Patrick, plays it, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful, like, I'm sure most of it is fictional, of course.
Of course.
But there's just like such small details that I love. Like you find a natural hot spring, you go into it, it raises your health, whatever. That scene of going into a hot spring and reminiscing on things the character has done in his life, in the story so far, you can't beat that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What about shows? Tell me about characters. One of the things I got into, obviously, we're watching a lot of Netflix, right?
Yes.
So I hadn't watched Hunter x Hunter. I started watching Hunter x Hunter sometime last year. I'm into the Chimera Ant arc now, and it's good. And I'm noticing in these shows that I'm watching, there are specific characters that I like align with. Like, I know exactly. That's how I feel. Like I can just get behind their thing. And it's weird because a lot of the characters, like some of them are bad guys. Like some of them are villains.
That's the best villain.
Right?
The best villain is one you understand or you can relate to. That's the best.
Somebody said like the older you get, you start to relate more to the villains than the good guys. Like the good guys start to seem like,
Squidward rather than
right,
the
yeah,
SpongeBob.
Exactly. So I'm watching Hunter x Hunter, and dude, Hisoka. I started watching Peaky Blinders, Thomas Shelby. These guys who are just like Hisoka's whole thing. I don't want to fight you if you're not strong. Fighting strong people is what I like to do, and I will grow someone who has potential so that I can fight them. And I see that in Killer Queen. Everything kind of comes back in a way. I see that. It's like, man, I really want to go against. I want to fight you. I want to fight Woody.
Yeah.
I want to fight Damish. I want to fight B. Kang. I want to fight these great queens because, boy, what a challenge, right? Like, wow. And then Thomas Shelby, Peaky Blinders, like the whole operation, everything he's trying to do, and it's all challenging, but he's got a plan, he's got a mind, he's cool, he's smart, and it's like, I want to be about like that in business, man. I want to get all my stuff together. I always come out on top. Like, it's interesting. Are there any characters like that in the shows you're watching where you're just like, that's me, I'm that guy?
I'll be honest, I feel like I'm watching less stuff these days in COVID times, but I'm doing a lot more like reading, and not like cerebral reading or anything, but I read more like webtoons, more manga, stuff like that. I'm trying to think now of what characters I feel like I relate to, because you kind of hit the nail on the head. Killer Queen is like this beautiful microcosm of everything in your life. You can find any lesson about perseverance, about ego, about teamwork,
teamwork,
about anything interpersonal. Oh my god, Killer Queen has that in spades. what do I love? So let me talk about a webtoon that I have started reading recently that I love. It's called Weak Hero. Now the name is not phenomenal, but you should absolutely read it. It's about this scrawny, nerdy character. I'm sure a lot of us could relate.
Okay, all right.
And he is he's super weak, and he gets bullied a bunch, and a bunch of his friends get bullied or whatever. And he like kind of puts his mind to this like exercise of fighting other people. I feel like there's just been this huge amount of like fighting webtoon that have come up recently. But he just uses his like strategy completely ruthless. Like will use anything. There's no like honor code in his fighting. He'll just like, you know, like throw a soda can at your face and then just come and demolish you. Because he needs that any advantage, and that is something that I kind of love in Killer Queen, which is like it's okay if the game is scrappy. You know?
Right.
As long as you win. Like, it doesn't matter how dirty it is. You just have to win.
Right.
And it's not over until the game is over. So you got to keep trying anything you can. I love that.
I think if I'm piggybacking on that, that's a really fun point. Like when you say the game can be scrappy. It's a scrappy game. It's a super scrappy game. Every engagement, especially the 1v1s, it always comes down to the little micro movement, who twitched last, who dove first, like, you know.
Yeah.
And just catching people in those moments and those times. One of my favorite things to this day. I love the aspect of Killer Queen where you get to trick people, where you get to go into their brain and just hijack them and, you know, come out on top of that situation.
Yeah, the night games.
Yeah, when you're pushing against somebody and you move in and then turn around and pull them off the ledge and get them. Or if you, oh my gosh, Pierre from San Fran came and disrespected all of us. He came to South Florida years ago and said, I'm going to win this draft night. And then he won the draft night. And I was so upset. I was so angry because he called it. And I'm like, this man came into our village and said he's going to fuck us up. And then he did. Oh my God. But he would do a thing where on Daymap, if you're hovering over one of the left or right gates and he's on the outside of you, he would just, all right, I'm leaving. And he would fly up to the top and then immediately come back, dive. You've moved by that point and just nail you. And I'm just like, why? Why have you done this to us?
You love getting nailed by Pierre.
Yeah, it's one of my pastimes.
Yes. But that's the kind of thing that teaches you to watch for vulnerable positions. And like, you know, in a way, he was making you better by just telling you like this is not safe. Don't do this.
Yeah.
My ultimate goal in Killer Queen, and I have to give Brian Kang credit for this because I think he's the first one to call it out for me and make it a conscious thing.
Oh, I want to know what this is.
I never want to die twice to the same move. You know, I never want to make the same mistake twice.
In a game.
And I think that, in a game.
Yeah.
Or just in life. Like, if you're with your coworker, I'm a noob when it comes to coding. I work as a programmer, but there's people who have been, you know, programming for many, many years, you know, beyond my skill set. And my goal is to, if I have to ask a question to a coworker, to a teammate, to a manager, someone, I never want to ask that question twice. And I think that's a very attainable goal. It just means be really mindful when you're learning something.
That makes my heart happy as a GM. Just, I don't want to tell you 2 times. I want to tell you 1 time, you know, and then you've got it.
As a good manager, I'm sure you're okay with like helping people when they need support. Like,
the way I think about it, it's kind of like the what analogy, right? If someone says something, what'd you say? Oh, what'd you say? I said, you know, that 3rd time. You gonna get it, you know? You gonna get it. You gonna go somewhere.
I just pretend I heard them.
Right.
If it goes past twice, I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I'm never gonna ask someone 3 times.
Right. We come back on some comments here.
If it was important, they would have spoken up or enunciated.
Exactly. We've got some comments. Some folks jumping in here. Let's see some reactions. So Robert Newhouse, he corrected us. It was Game 7, BB4. Chicago took it Game 7. Joe Becerra, my producer, says Floyd and Blake had a little bit of a bromance there at Queens Gone Wild. Like I said, they're very similar players, so it makes sense.
Who hasn't had a bromance with one of those two?
Well,
I feel like they're both so nice and welcoming and thoughtful.
Thoughtful.
You know, there's differences in their personalities, of course. But they're both so open to like, you know, being friends with you, to talking to you, to hanging out. Yeah, I love that.
It's cool personalities. Do your thing. Do your thing. It's cool personalities. I definitely, Floyd and I have been teammates for a long time. And Blake Compton, he did the thing where I think everyone was trying to free him at the beginning of the scene. And he's a cool dude now. He's a very cool guy. I would play the game with him anytime. Yeah. Aaron Goldberg popped in for a second.
That's an invitation.
Right. Hey, you're watching. Aaron Goldberg came in for a minute. He says he's got to run. But Damish, he wants you to play VR poker with him again. He says that it's not competitive at all. You have a great time.
That is beautiful. I did say no last time, and I'm trying to remember why. I had a legitimate reason. It wasn't that I didn't want to do.
It was legitimate, Aaron. It's not that he doesn't like you. It was legitimate. He was just doing laundry or something. It's fine.
Look, you're gonna have to believe me on this because I can't remember what I actually had to do.
Damish sus. Damish sus.
Oh, and other Joe is in the chat talking about Yakuza games. The Yakuza games are phenomenal. Also, incredibly good single-player story-driven games. Phenomenal.
I might have to pick that up. I've never played a Yakuza game.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best, especially if you like Japanese culture. It's
You like Japanese culture? Would you say that's something that's one of your interests? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I sound like a huge weeb, but I guess that's because I am a huge weeb.
You gotta let it out, man. It's fine. There's no shame.
Japanese. I went to Japan. I watch a lot of anime. I read a lot of manga.
Oh, get out of here. You can speak Japanese.
Chotto.
Oh, okay.
Not very much.
Okay.
It's been a while since I studied it, but I did take
chotto.
a year of Japanese in college, and right after that, I visited Japan for like a month.
I can't even talk to you anymore. I'm so jealous. Oh my gosh. I wanted to go.
I did it.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say I spent all my money, and I did it before I started my first job.
Wow.
And that is the secret. You do it when you don't have any other responsibilities, because otherwise you're never gonna get the time again.
Well, I'm never gonna go now.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe when you retire, we can go together, Joe.
Okay.
It'll be fun.
All right. I'm gonna keep that in my pocket, man. My plan. We had big plans. Everybody had big plans. 2020. Maybe we'll get into some of that. Your canceled plans. Your failed dreams. But one of ours was obviously they're opening the Nintendo World theme park. They were supposed to open it 2020.
Yes.
They're supposed to do the Olympics 2020. The wife and I always go somewhere for our anniversary. It's in August. It's like the Labor Day weekend, you know, so we always go. Mm-hmm. Anniversary is August 31st, so we'll go and do that. And we're supposed to go to Japan this year. So we're looking forward to it. We're like, oh, let's go. And then the pandemic hits, and we're like, shit. Well, so much for that. But we were supposed to be in Japan. We're supposed to go to the Super Mario World, the Nintendo World, and Universal theme park. And man, I've seen some great stuff about it. But what's something that you were really looking forward to 2020, and it just got canceled?
Man, there are a bunch of stuff. I have like a bunch of like refunded / like airline credits for things.
Right. Well, at least you got the credits. Yeah.
We were gonna come back to Florida. That was one of the things.
Damn it.
I had a friend's wedding in like northern Washington that we couldn't go to because of COVID. We were gonna go to Phoenix to visit Miranda's grandparents and check out, you know, the arcade bonus round there again.
Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix. We played in Phoenix. Miranda,
yeah.
You won Phoenix. Oh, you motherfucker. Yeah. You won Phoenix. Where's my...
we were just going back to the scene of the crime, you know?
Look, I still have the little PDX 2020. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that was in 2020.
Holy hell. I forgot it was
We went out on a high note.
We did, didn't we? Wow.
Yeah
That's crazy.
Really did.
That's crazy.
That actually was one of the most important tournaments I've ever won, because there were players on my team who had been training with me for a long time, like basically almost since I moved to Portland. These were newer players at the time. They're veterans by now, but just really, really good folks who put in a ton of work, and they actually got to see it all pay off by winning a big tournament.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's incredible. I did not know that. I mean, I knew that you were there, Miranda was there. I didn't know anybody else on your team. I don't know the Portland folks like that. But you're saying, so you put that team together. Did they have tournament experience before? Travel experience?
Yeah, I mean they weren't like super new or anything. But like I guess they did have some travel experience. We'd played in some tournaments together.
Okay.
I think we had played in the Cactus Clash prior, most of us.
The year before.
Some of us. Yeah. But so the people on my team were it was myself, it was Miranda, it was Marion from New York.
Right, yeah,
I
Oakley.
won't say she's a new player.
Yeah, Marion is definitely not new.
Marion is a veteran player who trained me, basically.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, Marion is one of the OGs. Marion and Anthony have been playing probably longer than anyone else in New York.
I like Marion. I genuinely like Marion.
Yeah,
Marion is cool people. I want to get her on this show at some point, but I like her a lot.
Oh, dude, you absolutely should. She's phenomenal. She would give some amazing insight. If you want people who know the history of Killer Queen, like, she is one of them, for sure.
Okay. New York historian.
And then the people on my team who I'm referring to are Thomas and Ara. And Thomas did really, really well at Nationals this last year. So I also won't say that was like his first taste of victory.
Right.
He was on Cody's team.
Cody, the GOAT.
But Ara, that was her first like really big tournament win. And I could like, it felt so good for all of her hard work to pay off. Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah, anyone who doesn't know her, watch out for Ara, one of the best players of all time right now.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. We were there. I was playing with Pierre in Phoenix, and boy, that was fun. That was really fun. I think we got third place on that one. Pierre's phenomenal. That team was phenomenal. I got to play with Cesar. First time ever playing with Cesar. That was really fun. And I remember playing.
One of the players.
Right, yeah. And I was doing Warrior, which I usually don't do. And it's like, okay, well, let me try to just come on a team and, not be useless. And boy, I think the last time I played Warrior, well, I was mainly useless, but Cesar, it's Cesar, so he held up for me.
Warrior is hard.
Warrior is tough. Warrior is tough.
I do not envy the Warrior players. There's so much more you have to be aware of when you play Warrior than you play Queen. You get a lot of opportunities as Queen to make magic happen. It's harder as a Warrior.
I almost feel like too, like from the standpoint of being a Queen and dying, like you never want to die as a Queen. Like that's so heavy. You only get 3 of them. And that's so heavy. But as a Warrior, like I don't know personally, because maybe I play Queen and this the sense of death is so heavy. I think when I'm a Warrior and I die, it's like almost even heavier because I can see the effect. I can see our team losing more because I died on ledge and 5 berries went in. Yeah. And it's like, ugh, it's almost worse. Mm-hmm.
I think you didn't say it exactly with the words.
Oh, we're going to do the thing again. Everything's fine. Don't worry. The title card is up. But I think I have a little thing with my Discord here. I might have to shut it down and bring it back up. Give us a second. Treat it like a commercial break for the Lazy J. Sing yourself an ad
from watchers.
Amazon.
Yeah. I don't want to give any ads for Amazon. They make enough money as it is, and they pay me some of it, and I am okay with that. I wish they would treat workers better. Jeff Bezos. If you're watching the Lazy J, oh, he's not even the CEO anymore. Holy shit. Andy Jassy, if you're watching the Lazy J, treat the workers right. There's your advertisement.
That's good. It's like an audiobook almost,
Yeah.
With the title card up. This is great.
Yeah, it's like a podcast.
It's almost kind of like a podcast. Maybe I won't fix it. Maybe I'll just leave it in.
We can do whatever we want. No one can see us. No rules. We can. I guess whatever I want is to flail my arms. What ads would we do here? Here's. I'll do an ad for the other bourbon that I'm drinking.
Okay, give us an ad. I'm gonna pause the music. Hang on. I'm gonna pause the music and give you an ad.
Yes.
All right, give it to us. Go, Dad.
All right, here we go. Try delicious Blanton's bourbon. One of the. What does it say? Oh boy, I don't know anything about Blanton's other than that it is freaking delicious. It has a horse on the little bottle cap.
Wow.
And Keanu Reeves drinks it in the John Wick movies.
Does he?
That's phenomenal. It's so good. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's so good.
That's good.
It's impossible to find.
Have you considered in COVID times doing that professionally, just voiceovering ads? You should.
Yeah, that's not a horrible idea.
Right?
If I had any free time, for more hobbies,
Right.
I feel like, oh, you know what? We were halfway through our COVID hobby.
We were halfway
conversation.
through
I
the
didn't
COVID
actually
hobbies.
mention any COVID hobbies.
Tell us more about the COVID hobby. We talked about like shows and stuff, and then we were back to Killer Queen. Damn it sucked us in again.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. This section is entitled Killer Queen, but not really. But like actually, pretty Killer Queen.
Pretty Killer Queen, yeah.
What have I been doing? The other big things that I got into recently, I've been building mechanical keyboards. That's been really fun.
Building mechanical keyboards. Building them.
Yes. I wish this was downstairs because I was talking to Joe about this in the pre-show, but I used to have all my keyboard builds up here on this shelf, and I recently got a nice glass case for them, so they're all downstairs in the living room, so that people can know how much of a nerd I am when they first come into my house.
Yeah.
And they don't have to come into the game room to figure it out.
Of course, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Let me see if I have any examples.
Yeah. See,
I can show you the keyboard I'm typing on currently. This guy.
What?
Oh man, the brightness is bad. This is my UEKP. It's got some dope artisan keycaps on there, like hand sculpted stuff.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, the escape symbol, the delete button.
This elephant and the samurai right here are pretty great. I've got a couple of cheapo keycaps in the WASD because that's what I used to game, and I feel guilty doing it on like nice white keycaps. But...
I like the WASD. That's crazy. That's what. Yeah. So you do these. You make these keyboards custom.
Yeah.
And you build them.
Sometimes, yeah. So you can buy keyboards. Mechanical keyboards specifically are a few parts, right? There's like a case. There's something that like holds it all together. In
sure.
This case, it's
okay.
Solid block of aluminum. There's the actual circuitry, which, you know, if you're a normal keyboard builder, you buy like some kind of circuit board, you know, that's built for keyboards. You can hand wire those yourself. It's a little more involved. You can solder them yourself. It's a little more involved.
Oh, soldering. Boy.
Yeah, and then you've got switches, and then you've got keycaps. That's basically it. There's plates and stuff, but that doesn't matter. The mechanical switches go into this onto the PCB, which triggers the actual actuation of the keycap press that you're pressing.
Right.
And then there's a bunch of plastic on top of it that looks nice and tells you what the characters are. So
I figured out why we can never get through the KQ hobbies, because every time you say one, I have a million questions, and my first question is,
how does this relate to Killer Queen?
Good.
How does building mechanical keyboard? Well, let me tell you.
Good night, everybody.
Really all about teamwork between the plastic.
It always all roads, I swear to God. Mm-hmm. Oh, but so you're making these. Are you selling keyboards? Can people get keyboards from you? Like, you've got the keyboard empire?
Keyboard. Yeah. No, I don't have a business or anything where I'm making these. A lot of these are just like fun art pieces. They're fun to use. There's different kinds of switches. So if I'm feeling particularly clicky one day, you know, or like slightly less clicky, more linear another day, we use different keyboards. I have like a split keyboard, so a keyboard that's like split down the middle, so I can just like kind of rest my elbows a little bit and just instead of having to like type like this all the time, you can kind of like put them wherever you want. That's really fun to use.
This is so. You made a tandem keyboard?
Yeah. Oh my God, I would get it, but it's in a different room. And I don't want to go get it.
This is like the most interesting thing to me. This is crazy. So let me.
If you ever want to talk keyboards,
let me make sure I got this right. You build mechanical keyboards as an artistic expression, not for a business, but as a hobby for artistic expression.
Totally, yeah.
That's
think of how much time we spend at a computer as nerds, right?
Right.
Why not invest in the only thing that connects you to this computer? It's like oh boy, this is a complicated topic. Let me talk about Elon Musk.
Let's talk about Elon Musk.
Elon Musk is a brilliant man, but a horrible, awful billionaire, like so many are. He's just like a huge, terrible person.
We were just talking about Bezos.
But yeah, we were just talking about Bezos. But he's a brilliant person, and he thinks about technology in such an interesting way. And one of the things that he was talking about, because he has this company where he's trying to connect brains and technology, right? Neuralink, trying to build some kind of bridge where we can control tech with our minds. And he made a comment that I thought was kind of profound, which was like, we're currently already cyborg. we're currently already integrated with technology. It's just
Right.
our rate of input transfer is slow.
Right.
It's limited by our fingers, right?
Right.
Like that's the kind of thing. When are you ever without your phone? You have access to all of that technology. The only thing slowing you down is how you interact with it. And so because this is the way we interact with our cyborg parts, I figure, it's a worthwhile investment.
That's really interesting, man. We got some questions, oddly enough, on the keyboard conversation now. So Richard has appeared out of nowhere. Richard is our resident. He like I mentioned, he's got COVID hobbies out the wazoo. He had hobbies before COVID. Richard will get onto something and he will just go balls to the wall on it, and then he will max it out 100% and then move on to the next thing. He figured out how to when Animal Crossing came out and that was the big thing and everyone's like, oh man, Animal Crossing. He figured out how to clone, duplicate, and create all manner of items, custom glitched items, and just all of this crazy stuff. And he gave me some of these items. I have some of them in my island, which I have never been to for the past, 5 months. But I digress. He's crazy. He just is into tech. Super cool. He has some questions. He's asked, what's your Switch of preference? He's a fan of the blues, he says.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means,
he's
but
referring to. So there's different colors of switches that reference different kinds of tactility, essentially.
Okay.
So you use cherry switches, which are a very popular brand of switches. They have cherry reds, which are a linear switch. Oh, this is getting super boring. You're gonna see your subscriber count.
I don't know if it is. You mentioned the cherry switches. Joe B he has a question about the cherry switches, but go ahead.
Or the optical keyboards from Razer. Okay, that's also a good question.
Yeah.
So you have linear switches, which are typically reds, which are just you think like a normal mechanical keyboard. You press down, it's just like a smooth press all the way down. Kind of simple, right? Like linear. Then you have tactile switches, which have a small tactile bump on the stem. So there's a stem that sticks up, and then the switch itself, the rest of it comes down on top of that.
Okay.
There's a small bump on the stem, so when you press down, you kind of feel a little you feel a small click when you press it, and it actuates when the press actually gets triggered.
I see.
When it when the plastic makes contact with that bump and goes around it. And what Richard is talking about are blue switches, which are clicky switches, which have an additional piece of plastic. So they have the tactile bump. So the main the primary presser plastic goes over that bump. And there's a small secondary piece of plastic that stays up. And then when you actually complete the press, that secondary piece of plastic comes all the way down and makes a clicking sound. So those blue switches are extra clacky, which I don't love because I plan on using these keyboards at work someday, and I don't want to horrifyingly annoy myself. I prefer a nice tactile switch. I like a Zelios V2. Zeal PC switches are top notch. They're a little pricier, but they're worth it. At the end of the day, if you lubricate your switches, it's going to be harder to tell the difference between a really expensive or really cheap switch.
Okay, so here's what I want to do. I'm gonna get up for a second. I want to show you my keyboard, and we're gonna talk about what it takes to get yourself a Damish branded keyboard here. Let's take a walk.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Yeah.
I'm actually gonna take the mic with me here. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, so many cables.
I love it.
So many cables in my house. All right. Hey, buddy.
Hello.
So,
hello, Joe's face.
Here's what we've got. We've got a Corsair, right? Corsair keyboard.
A K70?
I have no idea what it is.
No.
Should I know? I'm embarrassed.
Like a K95 because it has the macro switches on the left.
Right, yeah.
I could be wrong.
So, this is my desk, buddy. I got a square here. You know what I mean? I'm doing the best I can. There's you. Hey, handsome.
Yeah.
Hello. Trying to figure this out.
That's a great setup. The two monitors.
It's not bad, right? We got the little next
I'll show you
keyboard.
my setup in a second.
Yeah, it's nice, but boy, my thing is always real estate. It's a big keyboard, man. It's a big keyboard.
Yeah.
So I wonder.
Yeah.
We gotta talk. I gotta connect with you after the Lazy J here and see about what it takes to get one of these keyboards, because that's awesome. Let me
show you this. This is the keyboard I built for my wife. This is an NK65, which, as you can see, does not have that much bulk compared to your keyboard with a number pad.
No.
So if you're short on space,
very
a 65%
short
keyboard is the best you could probably do.
Yeah. We gotta talk about
smaller. You can go crazy small. That's all downstairs. I'm not gonna go down.
So
but you
you've
can
been
get a
building
40%
keyboards.
keyboard.
That's one of your
Yeah.
that's one of your COVID hobbies, right?
Yes.
Give us one more. What's one more interesting thing Damish has started doing since the dark
bourbon.
times?
The
You've
good,
been getting into
rare
the good.
bourbon.
Wow. Have you been like
I'm a
sampling and
bourbon man.
tasting and
Yes. Oh man, I've been.
You
trying
did
to
mention
hunt
that's the
down
John
rare
Wick bourbon. Yeah.
Bourbon's really good. I've got some really good friends. Some of my best friends from college are also really into bourbon. My really good friend Dominic, he sent me a nice like sample, like a bunch of little vials in the mail, all the way from Virginia, of a bunch of rare, interesting bourbons to taste. I've been slowly building my own collection. Yeah, just like figuring out what I like, what I don't like, and getting drunk is never a bad hobby.
Never a bad hobby. I mean, you're already home, right? You don't have to spend Uber money. This is good. That's really nice, man.
I have anywhere. Perfect.
What do you think? Like, okay, so you're into bourbon. Do you have any buddies? Like, do you do any kind of like, bourbon book club type thing? Like, do you guys connect? What do you do?
I think the bourbon community is actually crazy connected. Like, it's weird that people like this one interesting thing and they just like spend so much time and money on this one. That's like every hobby. I'm describing any hobby.
Any hobby. Baseball cards.
Yeah. Yes, or Pokemon, or any card.
Any
card.
card.
People love collecting cards. I do have friends that I do tastings with. That'll usually be it. Like if one of us finds like a really interesting or rare bottle, we'll all pop into Zoom and we'll just chat about that particular bottle. If it's like really cool, we might consider sending samples to each other.
Have you ever heard of a bar in LA called Bar Jackalope?
No, I have not.
Bar
I'm also
Jackalope.
not in LA.
This is true. Little north, West Coast still, but little north. Bar Jackalope is an incredible bar. They're on our radar all the time. And obviously, COVID, a bunch of bars are trying to figure out, okay, how do we still do things? And they started doing these Whiskey Society, tastings and whatnot. You should check them out. They have a lot of stuff. I want to say that the Elijah Craig toasty barrel that you've got over there is one of the things that they showcased recently. Bar Jackalope. It's really cool, really nice, super fancy. The bartenders there are top notch. I mean, these guys are wearing vests and suspenders and fedoras and everything. They look the part. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
Definitely check that out.
Basically,
I think that's cool.
Anyone who gets good at anything, I have huge respect for. If a bartender's really fucking good at bartending, I respect the shit out of that.
Bartending seems like it's one of those things that's fun, like I wish I knew how to do it. I wish that I could sling and this and that, but it's I think it's the same reason that you're kind of getting into these things. It's the nuance of everything, right? It's like, why is this different than this other thing? It's all bourbon, but this one's been aged for 12 years as opposed to 7 years. What is those 5 years difference? What does that do? Like, is this one smokier? This one is sweeter. This one is spicy. This one, there's so much variety. You can kind of get lost in it. Oh yeah, and
I think we're talking about, again, every time we talk about anything, I think Killer Queen, and then I immediately think everything. I feel like there's so much depth to basically any hobby. Of course, some are deeper than others, but mainly like beyond the superficial, you can find interesting things about anything. And on top of that, you can find communities built around everything.
Yeah.
That's it. Like I'm in communities based on mechanical keyboards and bourbon. Like that's like, these are interesting things that we do, but not everyone knows about that. Not everyone considers the depth of those things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so fun. I think that's one of the things that gives me meaning in life. I'm a big subscriber that everyone ascribes their own meaning to their lives. But for me, one of the biggest things that kind of gets me up in the morning every day is going deeper into the things I love and getting good at the things that I love. Whether that be with just like knowing more about them, right? Like getting good at bourbon is kind of the thing. Being able to taste the more interesting notes and tell the difference between different kinds of bourbon is a skill that I'm actively working on, mostly because my nose is terrible.
Oh, well.
Or getting good at soldering, like so I can make my keyboards a little bit cleaner, a little bit smoother sounding. Like there's so much depth to everything around us. We just have to kind of look for what we want to put our time into.
Damish, I love fucking talking to you, man. I fucking love talking to you. I swear.
I love talking to you.
I
No, that's
swear. This is such. I have to close it on that because I want to go to sleep with those thoughts in my brain.
Yes. No, please do.
That is fucking amazing, man. Listen, this has been the Lazy J. I've been talking with Damish, legendary South Florida native, 2-time BumbleBash winner, and bourbon connoisseur, up and coming. Watch out, sommelier of the bourbon world. This is the Lazy J. This has been amazing, man. Thank you so much for coming on. I am for sure. We're for sure gonna talk about keyboards here. This is fucking dope.
Love it. Thanks, Joe.